Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 1712 Southeast 142nd Place here in Portland. We're located at the back of the house. We're just outside the slider. Right in the concrete here we have a 4-inch ABS cleanout. And we're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We're going to zero out the foot counter here at the bottom of the cleanout, and off we go. And so it just transitioned. It went ABS, then cast iron, and then now we're back to ABS plastic again. So it looks like the line has had some updating done. We had a little bit of standing water right off the bat. We'll see how that looks when the line's drained out at the very end. All right, we're going through a lot of standing water, and you can see how much debris my camera is shoveling around here. This would appear to be a belly. We'll get up closer here to see if we have any debris blocking the pipe. Now that looks like a significant belly in the line. And again, we'll check that out when we come back at the end to see how much water is there, but it's causing quite a lot of stuff to build up in the pipe. Just switched over to 6-inch 3034 PVC pipe. And then we've reached the main here at 106 feet. Now we're going to let the line drain out here for a couple minutes. We'll see how we're going to go locate the camera head as well, and then we'll see how everything looks when we come back. That bellied area, though, is a spot that I'm very likely to recommend a repair on. All right, just located the camera head successfully. The line terminates at the main out on Southeast 142nd Place. The line ends up coming out the rear of the home, and then if you're looking at the front of the house from the street from 142nd Place, the line wraps around the right side of the home and then shoots out to the street from there. This is what we call a septic tank conversion. That's why it's going out the back and wrapping around. It used to have a septic back here, and then they converted it over. Now we're going to start rolling back here. There's a minor, tiny amount of water trickling through the line. It's not enough to affect our view of anything. By the time we get back to the belly, it should be completely drained out. In fact, I think it just about is at this point right now. And the concern with standing water like this, and this is a fairly significant amount of standing water, when you've got minor standing water, it might as well not even be there. But this section here we're going to see in a moment looked like it had 2 to 3 inches of standing water in it. And as I explain it, it's like hitting the pool at the bottom of the water slide. You come to a stop really quickly, and the same thing happens to debris shooting down the line. It hits that standing water and slows or stops, and then has a chance to build up and potentially turn into a blockage. And the longer that section of pipe is, the more water that's in it, the more likely it is to cause a problem. A lot of this dangly stuff you're seeing at the top of the pipe, all that stringy junk, is just cobwebs. Those aren't roots coming through there or anything. Alright, so I've pushed or stopped here. I just marked on the right side of the home. We're in the backyard area currently, but on the right side of the house. or the right side yard, I suppose you should call it. We're at 3 feet 5 inches deep here. It is just under dirt. If you're going to be doing a repair, that's not too terrible. You're not having to cut concrete or anything. But as soon as we drop into here, when I pull the camera back quickly like this, the water line is not sucking down below the camera lens. You've got probably 3 inches or more of the water. The line is almost completely full of water here at any given time. So this isn't a tiny belly that has a 1/4 inch of water. This is a significant belly. And you can see how much debris is floating around in the water there. It's catching. There is probably not an item that you put down your line that does not hang up in that belly and sit there. You're basically just depending on everything breaking down on its own and making its way out. So I would recommend a repair here on this one. And I'm fairly easy going on bellies. This is a pretty significant belly here. Now, this is going to be all mapped out with white paint. All right, we've got the whole belly mapped out. It stretches from 30 feet to 51 feet there on the side yard, right side of the house. It ranges from 3 to 4 feet deep. I do highly recommend that belly be repaired there, and also highly recommend rescoping the sewer line to check the repair work. Every belly out there almost is because of an installation problem, so it's important to rescope after to check it. We're going to reel the camera out of the sewer line. We've got some minor, super minor, actually this is only because there's debris in the flow line. There's actually no standing water here. Anyway, the rest of the line here appears to be in good condition. Actually, we're going to take one more look here. This transition joint. I think you actually have, I spoke too soon there, I think you've got some roots that are penetrating this joint here in the cast iron. And we've got a big... Yeah, this is actually kind of hard to tell here. This almost looks like this first little bit of the line may be Orangeburg. And the reason I think that is you have this huge lump in the middle of the flow line right here, which appears to be continuous with the pipe. I think this may be Orangeburg, which is a tar paper sewer line product. There's so much water and gunk in here, it's hard to tell, but that big ridge that my camera's going over right now, that actually looks like the pipe bottom that's deformed. If it is what I think it is, it's a tar paper sewer line product, and it is the worst sewer pipe ever devised by mankind. We're going over another lump right now, too. So, I mean, you can try and drain clean the line to see if that gets removed. Either way, this joint here appears to have roots penetrating it. So, we've got another spot here I'm going to recommend a repair on. Unfortunately, this is under concrete here. Doesn't appear to be terribly thick concrete, but we're going to locate this. I recommend swapping everything out here from the clean-out access out to the transition to cast iron pipe. Or just get rid of the cast iron altogether and just tie it into the ABS. That would be the even better circumstance. You don't need this cast iron. And now that I look at it here, Orangeburg, it's very common when they installed it back in the olden days, the straight shots will be Orangeburg and the turns will always be made out of cast iron. And that's what we have here. And then it ties right onto ABS plastic. So I recommend updating everything from the clean out to the transition to ABS plastic. All right, I've got this spot mapped out here, and I have a suggestion that may help save a little bit of money and hassle here with the concrete. This goes underneath a little bit of a concrete slab. I recommend that Orangeburg and cast iron be removed. And unfortunately, I can't run the camera backwards for this clean out. I've never seen it in my entire career, Orangeburg inside of a house. It's always possible, but I imagine if the home inspector was inside there, they probably should have seen the pipe material under the home. So here's our clean out. And it goes under this concrete pad for the first little bit here. The line comes up this way towards the fence and then turns and goes out that way to go around the side yard. This is only 2 feet deep. You might actually be able to tunnel under this concrete pad, put a 45-degree turn off this clean out and shoot it straight out and tie it into the ABS over here. You might be able to do that and avoid cutting the concrete. That's just a suggestion. You'll have to have the repair guys see if that would work, but that might save some money in cutting concrete and just abandon that last little piece of pipe that's in there. But that stuff I highly recommend be removed. It is terrible. Almost half the diameter has been lost in the pipe there because of deformations. You've got roots coming through there. That stuff has a 100% rate of failure. So do not leave it in the ground. But I recommend rescoping after both repairs are done to check the work. The rest of the line, aside from those 2 areas, is in good shape, has good flow, and is functioning properly at this time.